cue this. And then cue us. And then cue us. Take this down. How many days left? 88 days. 16 minutes, 41 seconds until week 1 of the Washington Commanders season, 2023 season, that is.
Yeah. I can't hear you quite the way I could earlier.
I wonder why.
Were you master muting?
I think I was master muting. That's why.
Okay.
Those master muting.
I'm not hearing it.
We caught you. We caught a master muting.
Live on the
I
air.
don't hear it this year.
Are you? That's because you're just wearing one shoe. Are you serious?
I did like the intro music. It felt like we were about
That was
to come on
from
to the
EO.
news desk. I know, and tell some
What did you just
serious.
Did it
news.
work?
It's when I turn. What is?
It's three-dimensional.
What'd you do to my headphones?
The only ones that lasted. Welcome to Tuesday night, everybody. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Kevin Ricca.
Hey, welcome to Tuesday. Thank you for welcoming us into Tuesday. Some fresh beat there, EO. I appreciate that, man.
That was called
right there. You're sitting there getting ready to go on. You're like, man, we're about to do this.
Throw Ya Hands Up by E.O. Anderson. He's Tim Strachan.
Plug this in. Push it up in there.
Push it up in
It's
there.
not the last time. It's not the first time you've heard
Yep,
that.
that's you do it.
There,
You're doing it just
there.
fine.
Okay, now I'm plugged in.
There you go.
Now I'm plugged in. Not like I was last week, and I promise that won't happen again tonight. Maybe it'll happen again in the future.
Don't snow, man.
That's just not. That wasn't me, but I had fun. It was a great time.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't. Well, it was
It used to be.
a lot more.
Man.
Not coming in hot tonight.
In any way.
To pick up there.
So wait, Ken Harris, you can't hear us? Ken Harris can hear us. You are looking
Can
live.
or cannot?
I don't know. Greg Barton says he can't hear us. I don't know why that would be the case. There's certainly no mutage going on. AGH, good to see you, sir. Ken Harris.
Does
Rhett
AGH
Donnelly.
hear us?
If AGH hears us, then we know we are doing just fine.
The signal has been sent.
Yeah, we need to check her out. That used to be Keegan's job way back in the day. I don't even think he put in a formal resignation on that.
No, he just bounced.
Maybe I was trying to do too much.
You pushed way too many buttons right before we went on.
I definitely don't know. Okay, Ken Harris is. He can hear us. If Ken can hear us, we're talking loud. I mean, he's class of 80 something. We don't know exactly what 80s, but
You have ducks?
yeah,
You
that
do?
indoor ducky pond in the corner of the
I
basement.
didn't know that.
It does.
I heard it.
You come every day and sit on the bench and throw bread at them and scream at them about the world and Knights of Columbus votes. Duck knows more about local politics.
Bound to get stepped on.
Thank God it's Tuesday, the official Washington Commanders podcast of First Amendment Sports and Hogs Haven. Please subscribe if you get a chance to hit that button. Throw us a thumbs up if the spirit moves you. Take the timer off. That's the countdown. 88 days until the season starts. Not to the preseason, not to training camp. That's until the kickoff on Sunday, September 10th at 1 p.m. against the Arizona
I
Cardinals.
thought that was Rhett's job. Sorry.
It was.
Good
He
job, Red.
said it. He got in there.
No,
He
you
was
did.
not good to hear him chiming in with words this week.
Who wore 88 for Red's good?
Oh, come on, man.
I know. Why am I blanking on this?
I don't know.
The Frenchman.
Doc.
Doc did? Okay. Sorry, Doc.
What are we talking about?
Who wore 88?
Who wore 88?
Pierre Garçon. But with Pierre Garçon, how many years was he here? Just real, if anyone, for some reason,
Handful.
I think it was
5, 4
4
or
or
5.
5.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He has some good manner speaking. Good evening, sir. So once again,
Sean Paul here. Handful.
what's that?
Sorry. That was a
Yeah.
terrible joke.
Only my mic is on. I don't think that's true. Everyone says they can hear everyone else just fine.
Only yours is on?
Greg Martin's having
This
some
is
problems.
what you do.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
You only turn on yours, and you always turn off at least one, if not both of ours.
I can hear you guys just fine.
No one cares whether you can hear.
I care.
All right, I think we're good.
I think we're good too. Not a ton of Commanders, I don't know, stuff because there's nothing really going on. But there's a couple of things that are happening. The owner thing is ongoing.
It's excruciating.
It's excruciatingly.
It's just like getting jabbed somewhere with needles every day.
I haven't seen anything new.
That's why.
And the things that are new are boring and annoying. Like what's new is he's replacing some private equity financing so that the owners will allow him to buy the team. Which is, if this is where we are, then just freaking get it done. Like I don't need to hear about financing updates. Yeah, it's bad enough that I care about the stuff I care about. If I start really like caring about financing updates on the ticker, like.
Outside of the salary cap, there's no other financials that we should be worried about. Aside from season ticket prices.
The price of high noon at FedEx is probably like
can you imagine? Can you imagine what the old 24-ouncer, the tall boy, is going to cost? That's like a $25 investment.
What is a beer?
There's no way I don't buy one of those.
What is a beer at a game right now? 16.
It's 19. It's up to 19. Yeah. I think the tall boys are 19.
Follow-up question. Why?
Ever since I started Hogs Haven in 2009, I said the highest paid and only lasting employee from administration to administration is one guy who decides the price of beer at FedEx. And every year, he's got a genius idea. He's going to raise it $1 every single year. And he stays employed and he makes a ton of money. And nobody stops buying it, ever.
Yeah. Well, people are thirsty.
Except for me.
At football games, you get thirsty.
Do you guys remember? So when they first opened, well, not when they first opened, but like late '90s, early 2000s, right after Snyder, there was still like the era pre-2000, pre 9/11. People were sneaking in like full backpacks of beer. I remember what we did. There was people that had like like the pants. That they could get like 8 beers in each leg.
Concert. I've never done that.
I had it. I did it. I specifically purchased it to go to FedEx Field.
Yes.
There was like the bladder that had it was like a leg bag, T.
Yeah.
It was like a bladder strapped to your leg, down to your jeans. You held it in there on your gut so you can put your hands in your hoodie, and then you just reached down to the bottom of your cup, pulled your finger out, undid it, let it fill up, and capped it.
Whoever joined us in the middle of that story are really confused.
Yeah. Well, it is
that's ingenious.
It kind of is, but I mean, it's really only like 3 drinks. So, but saves you 50-second clams, especially for drinking booze. And there was whiskey in that bad boy, not beer.
Well, yeah, we were sneaking in Milwaukee's Best cans that we bought at like the gas station nearby, and it was so stupid. I think back, I'm like,
it would pass.
You didn't buy that
water.
there. What's that?
It would pass as water.
No, I mean a can of Milwaukee's Best. I would say people looking at you are like, I know they don't sell that here. And then you go up one of the ramps and you look over the ramp and someone would toss you up literally like a bag full of beers. Like how brazen and ridiculous is that? Like there's no way that would fly now. I don't think. Maybe it would.
Well, $19 a beer, they got to protect their investment.
That's true. That's the most valuable thing they have.
The reason you can't do that in 2023 is because a lot of people could do that with things other than beer, and they just don't want that precedent set for security. So that's never going to happen because it's been clamped down.
Rubbers.
Yeah.
Don't want those getting in there.
I figured that's what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So many people in there trying to get their hands on them.
And I mean, not for nothing, but FedEx did develop for a while, and it maybe if it stopped or if it's just no one talks about it anymore. They were kind of a open air sex set, porn set, up in the standing room only thing. Like it was scandalous, and it was being reported. It was one of those things where you can't just because people were putting movies, videos of a guy standing at the standing room only bar, and there's a girl down. I mean, it was a thing. People would go to that section to do that.
I know why I was never there.
I'm just saying.
I don't stand. I couldn't couldn't.
Oh, she dropped her.
Oh, she dropped her drink.
Oh.
It was ludicrous, and I gotta believe they figured out maybe we should put someone over there to make sure people aren't just having an orgy in the standing room only section.
Would you give them a club, an umbrella? Down, back off.
You gotta exactly.
Put that thing away.
Get out of here,
you rapscallion.
You get to the mezzanine for that kind of a thing.
One more nut pops out of their shorts. I tell you. I'm not sure what you would be called. I guess it's security, but that's not.
No, you don't want to be that security guy. You're security. Like, what did you do? I was posted in the standing room only section trying to. I was trying to cut down on the blowjobs that have been happening there on a weekly basis.
I tell you, you react a second too late.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
Then you're just on your toes in that thing.
And how many pictures and videos did he end up in just because he was trying to stop something where people were filming? He's probably got a hell of a sizzle reel. That guy. But yeah, so there's that.
You're steering this ship.
Well, we're just all over the board. I mean, it's this the power steering fluid is overflowing this evening.
I can't wait to see where we go next.
Yeah.
At some point, I have a trivia question for you guys, but it has nothing to do with any of these giblets that we discussed.
All right.
Just a little, 1 minute.
All right. Okay.
I just can't. I brought it, so I got to do it.
I was
trying to get away from the.
Of course.
Bald mullet we were discussing.
Greg, check your speakers, buddy. I'm telling Greg Martin, he needs to fix his situation. No one else is saying that they're having a problem hearing, but he is. I think he's having some problems with his home Wi-Fi, your hi-fi, your quadraphonic stereo system.
Somebody tell Greg.
Well, yeah, that sucks. I really have nothing I can do to help. And it sounds good here, and everyone else sees it, but that sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. No real, obviously, personnel changes. No announcements of any kind that mean anything about football in any way whatsoever. The only thing there's other things happening in the league, and I was maybe wondering if there's anything that's going on. Not free agents that other people got that we wanted, nothing like that, but just anything that's happening that's changing things for us. Anything happening in the league? People getting stronger that we were hoping wouldn't get stronger. There's one thing that's happening. People are starting to call around for Chase Young. Now, I'm not saying I don't know that we want to trade him. I haven't even heard anyone suggest that we're interested in trading him or that we're taking those calls. But the word on the street is there's teams interested because they think he might be available because we didn't extend the option. Now, again, there's a huge gap between picking up the phone and answering it and teams kicking the tires on a fourth year stud like Chase Young. And I'm not asking if we should or shouldn't trade him at this point. But I guess what I would ask is like what could we get that would make it, worth getting rid of, moving a guy on who's not breaking the bank. And we get a ton of upside on him this year.
That's why I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anything that everyone keeps talking about, a third. Well, if he balls out for us this year, we're getting a third anyway. So why wouldn't we just have him do it right here?
Perfect point.
Well, I just don't get that.
But also, aren't the other organizations looking at it the same way that Washington football team's looking at it? And that's why they didn't pick up the fifth year, because he hasn't played enough going into his fourth year to really show that he's worth much at this point. And so I'm surprised that this has gone on enough, although there's nothing to talk about. So people find things to talk about, but I don't think there's a whole lot there until there is something there.
People think they can
personally. I don't want to see him leave ever.
No, but here's the deal: the team trading for him is only responsible for $5.32 million. I'm not saying. Look, we're not talking about whether or not he should or he shouldn't. We're talking about the idea that we're taking a phone call.
That's right.
The team that trades for him is only responsible for $5.32 million, and then they're off the hook. So if a team needs a guy like that in a one-year gig who's trying to set the world on fire, so be it. Yeah. But people aren't fleecing us. People are looking at this from media markets outside of ours, saying they didn't give him that fifth year. They're down on him. He hasn't done shit here. This is a guy we could get cheap. We're going to fleece that.
Right.
And that's what the articles all sound like to me. exactly. And guess what? I don't want, for crap's sake, a third rounder.
What
are you talking
punch
about?
in the face.
What do you even? So I hear why we're taking phone calls, but I don't think we're listening to that noise. I mean, some of this stuff makes sense. Some of these trades, they have different guys. They have a player ready to rock and roll, Buda Baker, and a fourth. At least that's something you can chew on and go, all right, Buda Baker's a badass, 2-time first team All Pro, 1-time second team All Pro, 5-time Pro Bowler, along with the fourth. All right, say there's a personality conflict going on, which I don't think there is, and we don't know anything about. This is for argument's sake. That would be the only reason we'd be interested in doing something like that. If we don't think it's going to work that way, if it's gone sour since we've not done the 5th year and it's just not looking good, and it's going to be a distraction, blah, blah, blah. That would be the only thing I can think of and dream of. They love him in that locker room. His teammates respect the hell out of him. He's a worker, and I don't want him going anywhere else.
It doesn't fit the history of him.
No. He's a dude, man. This year, I think he explodes, and if he doesn't, so be it. Whatever. I guess it was a bad pick.
It's a totally different situation than Steph up in Buffalo, right? I mean, Diggs, it's a totally different thing. Diggs has had a little bit of that history follow him everywhere he's gone. I've never heard that from Chase, and I'm only doing this because they're both local guys.
No.
We've been covering.
No. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm saying just because they did not decide to take that 5th year, nothing to do with Steph Diggs stuff. Chase Young's not that guy for the field at all.
But I'm saying there's drama over that with Steph Diggs up in Buffalo right now. I don't know why there's so much drama around it right here, other than, again, there's nothing else to talk about.
Buda Baker is a fun thing to talk about if we're screwed, and that's the deal. That's it. And no, of course not. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want Chase Young wearing 99 and burgundy and gold, having a baller year, getting himself back on the map, and forcing us to either give him whatever it's going to be, $80 million over 4 years, or someone else to do it, and we give him as that. That's all. That's all we can look at it as. I mean, what else can we do?
I don't know what's going on here. I'm sorry, guys.
They all can't hear.
They're saying they can't hear.
Nobody can.
All right, well, let's regroup. Let's get heard. Here. A little muffled. Insert muff joke now, if you can hear it. Maybe a symbol for muff. I'm sure one of the board members can figure that out.
It's very troubling.
You guys are just incredible content. But didn't Ken say that he could hear?
I can hear everybody.
Muffled. Ken Harris. Let's turn on. Let's see what it sounds like here.
I heard it when you came on. When you had it up loud.
It sounds like it's coming through the mic and the camera. Darn it.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
How'd you fix that last time?
I don't know that I actually ever fixed it.
You jiggled something.
How about now, boys? How about now?
Now. Maybe. It sounds better in my microphone.
1, 2, 2.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, kind of sounds like we're in a bathroom.
That's correct.
We're going to get it fixed here any moment.
Yeah, it is. It is far away.
Yeah. No, there's nothing on this that needs to be changed. I didn't change anything, so.
I bet it's a wire.
What's that one out? That one was never in.
We solved that crime.
Bam. How's that sound?
We're gonna get it fixed.
Hmm.
It's very troubling. It's coming. It's picking up the finger taps.
Just knew it.
We're gonna do it.
Just
The Muff Cam is using way too much juice.
It's that one whisker we talked about in pre-show.
Yeah, it's oh wait.
Rhett says it sounds good.
Well, Rhett can hear everything.
You're in the room, Rhett.
I think I have.
There you go.
Boom.
You just had to
Boom.
unplug and plug back in.
Boom. Fixed.
I told you.
Fixed. It's saying fixed.
Just
Ken.
jiggle it, baby.
Saying fixed.
Yeah.
All right.
You just jiggle. You did a good job.
I literally did nothing.
You're the best
I stared
jiggler.
at like 4 different things. I plugged in something and plugged it back in.
Oh, thank you guys
It
for
was
your
that.
patience.
It was that connection right there.
So Chase Young, we've all agreed, trading him for anything, almost anything at all, is foolish. We have way too much value locked up in him giving it to us for this year, and we can still get plenty back if he leaves. That was kind of the gist of that. The only other stuff that's going on, you didn't miss any owner talk. Boring owner talk. No. It's just quiet and peaceful. I wouldn't even say it's like frustrating. Excuse me. It's perfectly the way it should be. Like, we shouldn't be worried about something in the beginning of June. We shouldn't be, and we're not. And how many times have June's been filled with? It's not just worry because it's football, and I'm not trying to make it more than it is, but you're like, oh God, how the hell are they going to pull this off? We're not there.
Despite all the
May I,
drama
please?
around
May I?
this organization, despite all the headlines that media can drum up, we have talked in the last 2 years at this time about how we haven't had those horrible, dramatic stories that are popping up,
Yeah.
under Snyder's leadership since he's been kind of removed from the situation. We have had drama free for the most part, ownership aside.
Yeah. Well, it's
Off
about
seasons.
but yet at the same time, it's literally the most dramatic offseason we've ever had in the last 20 years. Dan Snyder finally selling the
I
team.
said ownership aside. Ownership.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about
But new
field,
stadium,
football. Like,
let me ask you guys this. So someone asked me this question this morning, and they said yes or no. Can't say anything but one of those 2 words to this question. Both of you guys can say, you can answer at the same time. Yes or no? Got to be one or the other. Is Ron Rivera with the organization next year?
Yes.
No.
To Kevin, is he the head coach next year?
I plead the fifth.
See, I just said if you have to make me say yes or no, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say he is with the team, but he's not the head coach because I think he's going Pat Riley style. I think he's gonna hand things off and move into the upstairs and start calling shots, and because that's what he's been doing already, anyways. And something tells me there was at least the potential for some kind of a discussion about that with Eric Bieniemy to get him to come here. Maybe. And all this is predicated on them playing well and doing good things. This year, which has not happened.
So there is the
yet.
theory that if they do well this year, what comes back is Ron in a front office role with Bieniemy taking over as head coach.
Yeah. That's nobody's smart is saying that. I think that's just like a thing. It's like tea leaves that you can read. I'm reading tea leaves at like a 3rd grade level, but you know what I mean? Like, it's
the only thing I can think of is if someone was like, that's the only damn thing that would make sense for Bieniemy coming here in the first place.
Well, that's what hit me when I'm like, well, okay, that could have been a nice enticement.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time, Ron was calling shots.
Ron's at an age where maybe head coaching's not the best for him, but staying a part of it in the front office and doing the things he's largely been doing for the last year and a half.
Transitioning in the new ownership.
Yeah.
By being a great guy. What does Doug Williams get to do now that we have another great guy? There's too many great guys. There's only one gig for a great guy.
We're going to have to expand that budget.
It would suck to be demoted to a deputy great guy.
Yeah. You're like, what did I do?
I know.
But then you're like,
still a great guy.
But I'm still very appreciative and thank you for the opportunity because I'm a great guy.
We can never use enough of those. Well, but also Ron Rivera, he's not at the end of his rope here, but he's at the point of it. When he came here, he could afford for our team to be bad because he was turning things around and rebuilding. in year 4 and potentially year 5, that ain't the case. So he either goes somewhere else and tries it again, or he keeps the job that he has now. I mean, he is our front office right now. The Martys report to him. We've seen that. We've seen him calling the shots. He's in charge. So it's not like he's going to take a new job. He's just basically he's delegating some authority to Eric. And I mean, Jack Del Rio is sitting right there. He ain't. I don't think he's. If someone from our current staff is going to be the head coach, it's obviously going to be Bieniemy.
He'll never get it. No, not with what he's been, criticized for in the media for just being stupid and saying stupid stuff. So, really, the question is, if they get to the playoffs, if they don't get to the playoffs, it's not a question. The question is, what happens if they do get to the playoffs? How is it going to shake out?
I think that's all. I think that's all in play. I think he doesn't leave the organization. Like to Kevin's yes. I mean, he's with the org. If we do well, he's with our organization.
I'm not saying I believe this is going to happen.
Sure.
I'm just saying I believe he will be here, but I'm not. I can see something weird going on. I can see something odd. I don't know. I can also see them flushing the whole entire system and saying, "Let's start fresh." And let's go.
Of course, which is their right, to do. It'd just be hard for them to. I mean, I'd chase a lot of people out of the building. Obviously, I'm giving Jason Wright his pink slip on day one, but there's a lot of people that have to go just because of the stain of Dan Snyder. Sorry,
Jason Wright's people are on the phone for you real quick.
The stain of Dan Snyder, it sticks to you. You're gonna have to get out of town, and
I think you make that the owner suite. That's like the old room at the Bates Hotel. It's like moving forward. They're like someone murdered a franchise.
Yes, yeah, that's a great point. That and the new stadium will have never had a Dan Snyder owner suite. If I'm Josh Harris, I'm taking that owner suite and I'm giving it to
the loser's box.
Whoever exactly the other owner.
The other owner exactly.
Yeah,
we won't milk you, but you got to sit in there anyways. Someone here has been milked. That's happened here.
He's the milker is gone.
No, there has to be or at least Snyder would turn around and charge $10 for a tour of the owner's milk closet. Terrible bastard.
Yeah, so it's slow. And I would put it up to the board. If there's any other personnel or team stuff, if I could ask you to do this, if you put something on like a topic or a question, get it in there, put something in caps so we can see it as it comes across. I want to make sure we get to it. So, NES Tecmo, I think on one hand, no owner pays $6 billion for a team without an idea of who they would hire as coach and GM if they had to. It's just not something a smart billionaire would fail to do. So I agree with you that they have, you know what, I can put that on the screen. I forgot we're living in a new world. Regardless of playoffs, new ownership has a team ready to go, waiting on word. Of course, that's probably true. And they probably know the deal. You probably know that there's no way that guy's coming in and firing Ron Rivera on day one, which means if Ron Rivera does great and people do great, you're probably not going to fire some folks. And that's the beauty of our new owner. Our old owner, if he had a team ready to go, that team was playing next Sunday, and everyone who was already here would be gone because there's no thought or reason to what the old guy did. The new guy is coming here ideally to build a team and win games, and therefore, if we're winning games, he's going to probably do everything in his power to help us keep winning games. Is my guess.
It's a good guess.
It's a good guess. Let's see, AGH coming live from Wales. Talking himself out of here. God forbid Snyder survives. He's fired. If he's gone, then Harris will let him go. I think Harris is gone. I do. I think no. I hope so. You know what? I hope so. But I mean, I'm also biased.
Harris isn't gone.
Not Harris. I'm sorry.
Yes, you think Harris isn't? You think Harris is in?
Jason Wright. Jason Wright. Yeah, Harris is in. All right. Well, we do have a fun evening planned for y'all, and let's get things started with you teased us with a trivia question. I kind of like that being like the segue to get us out of the last talk.
Yeah. It's listen, this is very board. Let's go board. This is okay. I need the boardroom, the chairman of the board to step it up here. T and Ken, you're involved also. I just went back to the Terry McLaurin years, and I was just going over everything that he's done, and I go on my little journeys through the stats. I'm asking the board right now, just since Terry McLaurin has been here, this is the question for everyone. Just in the Terry McLaurin years, the last 4 seasons, I got 3 questions, and it's about his stats, but it's about who his co-stars have been. Terry McLaurin has 299 receptions in his 4 years here.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me who comes in second and third. Give me some names. Total receptions for us in the last 4 years. Total receptions for our team in the last 4 years.
Okay.
Second fiddle to Terry McLaurin only, who's out. He's out by quite a bunch. 299 to 150 is second. All right.
Well, J.D. McKissick has to be on the list.
J.D. McKissick is number 2.
He had he just caught nothing but ball after ball after ball.
Yes, and it's ridiculous, but he did 150 receptions to Terry's 299. Now, see if you can finish out the top 5 there. So the board has some guys. I see
AGH has
Cam Sims.
Is Cam Sims on the top 5?
I'll tell you right now. Everyone on this list, aside from J.D. McKissick, is presently on the roster. I'll give you that. But you don't want to get out there and then
Logan Thomas comes in.
He jumped in there, 129 receptions. Okay. In 4 years, that doesn't seem like a tremendous amount of reception.
It certainly does not.
So,
Antonio Gibson.
And he is correct. Rhett Donnelly at number 4 with Antonio Gibson. And 5th is almost inconsequential. It's a 54.
54 catches. Oh, wait, no. How many total catches for number 5?
Number 5 has 70 total catches.
In the last 4 years.
Over the last 4 years.
Okay.
Or maybe not. Maybe he hasn't been a part of this roster for that long. But 70 is 5th over the last 4 years.
First of all, that's
Gibson is correct at
hard.
4. Thomas is correct at 3. McKissick's correct at 2. And guys, I did this with yards and touchdowns also. So just go ahead here if you want to jump in on yards. I'm going to tell you Terry's first with 4,281. Second,
J.D. McKissick?
1,189. And it's not J.D. McKissick. He is third, though, because I can't argue with that one. 1,159 yards.
Number 2 for 4 years?
Third.
Oh, that's third.
But second is 1189.
Oh, my God.
Bro, this is what Terry's been dealing with. Not only every crap quarterback in the universe that we've ever could have thrown a ball to him, but he's never had someone to help him out. Just get open by yourself, Terry. Good luck. We're all wishing you the best. But you got Logan and JD there.
Rhett Donnelly threw in Adam Humphries.
Humphries is in the top 8, but he's not in the top 5.
And Logan Thomas.
Once again, yes, I saw AGH with that. But, it just kills me that number 4 and 5. All right. Andrew Griffith Humphreys went with Cam Sims, and we're giving him number 5. Number 4, again, is a repeat from the previous question.
Gibson.
But Antonio Gibson at 894.
Yeah.
I mean, over 3 years. Like, is someone doing anything? So I finally went to touchdowns, and here we go. It's similar guys, but there's one guy in there that just jumps out at me. Terry McLaurin with 21 touchdowns in 4 years. Give me the number of touchdowns and who is second.
The number of touchdowns over the last 4 years and who was second. It's going to be a really...
Greg Martin, you are correct. Samuel was 5th in receptions. We're done with that one now with 70.
Okay.
Over the last 4 years. It's really,
Jahan Dotson?
really bad. Jahan Dotson is 3rd.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say he's
third.
With I was going to say 4, but it's like, what, 7?
It's 7.
Yeah, 7.
7 over 4 years is the 3rd most.
Yep. And he's only been here for a cup of coffee.
So obviously Logan, who's coming in at 2nd with 10, Antonio Gibson 4th with 5. If you guys can pull the number 5, give me number 5. His name has not been mentioned yet. He is no longer a part of this team. He is tied for number 4 right now in the last 4 years.
With Gibson?
With Antonio Gibson with 5 touchdown receptions for the good guys.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's it. That's the end of my question. That's it. I'm done.
It's not JD. It's not JD. Wasn't. I don't think
it's not JD McKissick. He didn't catch touchdowns for shit. And in his final year with us, he had, I think, like however many 50 catches. None were longer than 14 yards. He was all banged up. But
all right,
it is not Diami. I think Diami only has 2. I think the 2 in that one game might be his only 2. I'm not certain, but I think that's true.
And not Cam.
This guy is not on our roster. Andrew Griffith Humphreys nails it.
Steve Sims.
Steve Sims.
Really?
With fiver.
Okay.
Fiver.
All right.
Is our fourth most productive touchdown receiving wideout in 4 years with 5 touchdowns. It's that just shot. I'm looking at it going, if you take Terry McLaurin out of this offense, what happens? Do we just P for K on third down, or what do we do? I mean, so that was my little.
Okay.
I just wanted to get your guys going there. The board crushed it. Nice job, fellas.
Let's see here.
That's
Steve
all I got,
Sims.
dude.
Steve Sims just like throws me for a loop.
How about Jahan Dotson with 7 is third?
Well, I mean, 7.
That's not even 2 a year.
I
man.
know. Look who Taylor Heineke. He really spread the ball around a lot, Kevin. That's really what happened. I mean, he was just.
I get it, but, dude.
We didn't score a lot of touchdowns either. They didn't have a lot to go around. We saw that last week with our Kansas City comparison.
I got to stop doing Kansas City comparisons. I did it once just for effect, but if you really want to make yourself sad, look at our stats and their stats, and it's sad. But it's nice is there's one guy that was in all those coaches' meetings and around all of that success, and he's here now, and that makes me happy. If he can spread half that magic, we go from we'll talk about that in the future. We're going to start talking about some of this stuff moving forward, but maybe not just yet here in June.
It's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. By the time we see you in 7 days next Tuesday night, you'll have already celebrated. You'll be on your continuing celebration of Father's Day. It usually takes a solid 8 or 9 days really to do it right. So, but we're going to get started tonight. And tonight we have a draft, and our draft is top father-son duos from TV and the silver screen. So we'll be flipping back and forth between this screen and our new whiteboard, or it's really a blue board at this point in time. But here's the order we're gonna go in. I never do this. I never do it.
Make yourself first.
I'm gonna make myself.
There you go.
I'm gonna take the first overall, which means I have to wait the longest for the next pick. But I'm gonna go to T second, and then Kevin gets 2 in a row, and then we're back to T to me. So we're going this way. Whoosh, right. You know how it goes.
I think they know how it works.
Visually, picture it visually. All right. So I am going to. So let's go ahead and light up our draft board here. All right. And the number one pick, the best father-son duo. It was for me. I did this on purpose. I could have put myself number 2 and taken whichever one of these two fell to me. But that didn't really, doesn't really do it right. So I'm going to start with, what? Well, I thought you were giving me a shrugger. Where am I at? Here I am. Number 1 in the hood. Bam. All right. Indy, the Dr. Jones duo, basically. And Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. It's Han Solo. It's James Bond. It's Indiana Jones. It's everything you ever wanted in a movie. It was actually a great movie. They're number 1, the Dr. Jones duo, father son.
The muff cam just got broken somehow. I'm not
sure
what's doing it. Sounded like it was struck hard, but I'm not sure.
I think I have another one. There you go.
There you go.
There. Oh gosh.
So that's giving it to you the way you want it,
That's
and then of course you got. Oops, you got the guys. They're tied up. Sorry, you know what? Speaking of muff cam, T just got a little excited. Okay, take it easy, T. Take it easy. You're up, by the way.
Well, I got really excited because it is my turn, and I still have my number 1 over number one. Let's go with Noah Levinstein and his son Jim from American Pie. Eugene Levy.
All right.
Jason Biggs.
I don't have him on the big board,
a father
but that's okay.
That loves bestowing his advice to his son when his son needs it most.
Keep it real, homies.
It's hey, well, just tell mom we ate it.
Well, just tell mom we ate it.
Was,
Don't forget your penis cream. I mean, he was there, and he has some of the greatest lines in cinema history. Yeah. Don't forget your penis cream. Is there? Oh no, my son. He's got a visitor this week. Is there any way to speak? The guy's like, yeah, if you put this topical cream on and could shave a few days off. He's like, "Did you hear that? It's a good news day, Jim. It's a good news day." He's walking out with like a cast diaper. He's like, "Don't forget your penis cream."
He's a great dad.
He is a great dad.
great dad.
He is a great dad.
Great dad.
Good job, Eugene.
That movie, by the way, tugged at some heartstrings on a variety of levels.
You can't say that American Pie tugged at heartstrings.
It did. It was a lot of tugging. It tugged out all over the place, but that was one of the things it tugged.
Tara
to this
Reid.
day.
Tara Reid was in that movie. All right, I guess it's my turn.
It is you.
At her peak.
All right, well,
I know you're not AGH from Wales. I understand. All right, let's go back. So I don't have that one on. Let's see if I have Kevin's on. You got
if
two.
you have Vito and Michael Corleone.
Oh,
you knew that had to.
I do. Let's put him in.
I went with
in.
comedy first.
There they are.
I mean, if non-comedy, it's got to be the first.
It was just
As far as I'm
sick.
Vito and Michael Corleone. By the way, I had the opportunity, as you guys, I'm sure, have a long trip on the road with the fam. We drove to Connecticut for a wedding, and just the most randomest conversations. And we have rules. You can't just be on your screens and your phone the whole time, which they hate. And we get dragged into every once in a while an awesome conversation. We're driving down the New Jersey Turnpike, and I'm driving over. Greg Martin, please chime in because this is your neighborhood. Right by the Meadowlands, where like the swampiest swamp is, and it's just terrible, terrible. And I'm driving over, and I'm like, "Hey guys, bet you there's some dead bodies down there." And they were like, "Really? You think so?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure." I was like, "Do not ever go swimming down there. There's totally dead bodies down there." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then my son's like, "Well, you mess with the wrong person." And we got into this whole thing about The Godfather, and my wife was like, "Well, my youngest was like, who's the Godfather? Who are the Corleones?" And my wife was like, Saint Megan, of course. She was like, "Well, they did a lot of bad things. They're a bad family." And I was like, "Time out. Let's take a TO."
There are things we can learn.
Yes,
from them.
Michael was a war hero.
Michael was a freaking war hero. Secondly, I said when people came to this city as we're driving through New York, I was like, when people came here, we were the targets. The Italians, the Irish, the Polish, the immigrants. They came off the boats. We were the targets. We basically unionized, and we put the Don Corleones in front, and we were like, you know what? He's going to make sure nobody messes with us. And it was all fair. It was fair, 100% fair and square. They took it a little bit too far, as time went on and became legit crime syndicates. But the Corleones,
just watching Vito, and he
family.
was like, he's not going to be a governor or a senator.
Yeah.
He had that moment, and he was like, God.
Yeah.
That was, he loved him so much, but not that much, I guess. The dynamic was fantastic. That is my number one draft choice, and it's back on me.
It's back on you. Let's see if I got another one for you that you've picked.
All right. Well, I'm going to mix it up here. I'm not just going to go straight mafioso, Cosa Nostra all night. But I am going to take it to Fred and Lamont Sanford.
Oh, no, I almost had the graphic for Fred and Lamont. And that's right, Ken Harris. They ran an olive oil company, for goodness sake. Just good, wholesome, whatever. Sanford and Son, it's right in the name.
Yep. You big dummy.
Yeah, big dummy.
Lamont was the nicest son, like the guy that had his act together.
Yeah.
And he wasn't taking any shit from Grady, but Fred Sanford's one of the funniest guys I remember from my childhood. That was my dad's guy, my uncle guy.
Sure.
So Fred and Lamont, happy Father's Day, fellas.
So T, that brings it back to you.
Well, I went comedy with my first, so I gotta go as Ken likes to say, heartstrings with my second. Because my first Marlon's already been taken, I'm taking the second Marlon on my list.
Who's your first Marlon?
Marlon and Nemo. Marlon Brando. I know.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Differently, but Marlon and Nemo.
You mean
from Finding Nemo?
Let's see. I know I got those guys.
What father in his own right can't love a father who puts himself across takes himself across the entire ocean just to go get his son?
It is.
Come on now.
I was worried that no one was going to pick this. Not really, but kind of.
What?
But I had to put it in my father-son, mosaic.
Let's be honest. When we did this research, how many of you realize there are not that many good, positive father-son combos? Most
there's a lot of them.
Most movies that are good are about the fathers and mothers have they're not in the picture. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Well, yeah, the perfect wholesome family does not that ain't selling shit.
Yeah,
No one
I
wants to
didn't
see
put
all
any
that.
hallmarks on here, but I mean, this to me, Finding Nemo. I mean, you can't get a better father-son duo than that.
I mean,
I don't think the Muff Cam's in danger on this round, sir.
you're going like
It's
all
not supposed to.
Troy
I know,
McClure
I
on
know.
us
The
with your
camera's supposed
fish
to be up.
fetish.
I'm just talking to the guy who has to get the Muff Cam lenses
Yeah,
replaced.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot more than a sham wow
It's a
on that
it's a
one.
DIY job.
Oh yeah, no, it's a pressure washer. We need a pressure washer for that one. It's steamed from the inside.
Right. You have two picks. Speaking of steamed from the inside.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with the other one who I would have picked number one. I'm kind of excited that they're still available, and I'll be honest, I'm a big fan of their body of work. It's Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. And there's Darth Vader reading to Luke. It's exactly the way I imagined Luke being raised by Darth Vader. It's one of the greatest. I mean, I'm a Star Wars guy, and I don't need to get too much into it. But even when one of them had to have the kid, basically, think about this: Darth Vader had to have his kids taken away from him by a child services version of Obi-Wan. And he still, and he destroyed the galaxy, and he went on like a decades-long just bender of evil. But at the end of the day, the father and the son relationship reigns supreme. I'm just saying, even Darth Vader ultimately saved his son's
It
life.
was on my list
when the Emperor went
because
after
of
him.
the impact it had on me as a kid.
Okay.
That's all.
The Muff Wow. I'm gonna put that on the screen because I said ShamWow, the ShamWow for the Muff Cam and Greg Martin. It is. These are, by the way, these are all patent pending ideas. Anyone, I mean, the mics are on. Now, the mics weren't on before. If you can hear us, give us a thumbs up. How about that? Appreciate you guys. I get to go twice, by the way, and I don't want to waste time. I've already, let's see, we're going to get the Muff Wow off. How do I do that? There it is. All right. So I got some choices to make here. Now, I feel like Darth Vader was never around. AGH, I understand.
Let's not focus on the past, Ken. It's time to move forward. I know.
We're on live with Wales, Kevin. We're on live with Wales. Wales speaks. All right, so I there's no way I couldn't do this one, and since I get to go 2 in a row, and I just went Darth and Luke, how about George and Frank? George Costanza, Frank Costanza. It's an interesting dynamic. It's a great father-son duo only because of pure entertainment value. One of the greatest shows of all time. Two of the greatest characters of all time. The thing is, Jason Alexander, not a comedic actor. Jerry Stiller, obviously a huge comedic actor. But the Costanzas, yep. I mean, come on.
You just took my next two. You just took my next two.
All right, good. I'm glad. I knew that I didn't think they would go undrafted, but George and Frank, to me, is
T was your only threat there.
Okay, fair enough.
No. I mean,
All right, who's next?
Well, maybe in the game, the board might not agree with you. I think I'm next.
Yeah, but they're not drafting, so T was. What I was saying was I wasn't going to be going there.
Is it back to T?
It is on T.
T, what do you got, buddy?
Very conflicted.
Okay.
But this is a sports show.
Yeah.
Sports-centric show.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
so
I know
I've
you're
decided to go with my sports.
I know you're going to take, and I got him on here.
Ray and John Kinsella.
Yeah, they're here. Let's see if I got them.
They finally got to play catch, man. You know,
game of catch.
There they are.
I mean, it wasn't a long relationship,
right in the middle.
But they got to make up for lost time.
I mean, if your dad walked his ass ghost style out of a cornfield and you start throwing it around a little bit, you know,
that didn't choke you up. You know, you got to pinch yourself or something.
Real quick, because the board would you go George and Frank Costanza over Jerry and Mort Seinfeld?
No,
I would go Costanza.
I'm indifferent.
Yes. You're indifferent.
I'm indifferent.
Costanza over Seinfeld. I am yes. Too. Morty Seinfeld is a great character also, but the father-son thing, it was the father-son dynamic existed way more with George and Frank in terms of like the way the show worked. Morty was more of a, I don't know, the Del Boca Vista guy, outgoing president of the board. Kev, you get 2 now.
2.
Is that true?
That's 2.
I don't know. I'm running out of spaces on my mosaic here, but I bet you I got at least 1 or 2 of them that you have.
I don't know if you're gonna. Well, you might have this one because this one could be in there. It's old Clark and Rusty Griswold.
Oh, you know what? I did have it, and I messed it up.
I mean, you messed it up.
I muffed it. I had Clark and I had Dusty, and and to me, it's the original. It's Clark and Dusty from National Lampoon's Vacation.
I get it, but
who's your favorite Dusty?
We could talk about this all day, but my favorite line is, and this is the reason why I made this choice. I'm not trying to escape the issue here.
Yeah,
I think he's going to pork her dad.
Yep.
I think he's going to pork her dad.
He's not going to pork her.
So that's the European Vacation, Rusty.
Yes.
That's the European vacation.
Yes, it is. And it was in Paris, France, I believe.
So are you taking the
He's
specific
giving her right at the table.
I don't even know the name of that actor. So
he might pork her us. Just eat your breakfast.
I think he's going to pork her. He might pork her. Nicholas Papagiorgio is up there, but it's a total. I mean,
my favorite Russ is in the desert when he chugs the beer can. My dad and I once shared a beer,
Yes.
and he takes and chugs the whole thing. I think I read years ago that was an ad lib that he wasn't supposed to do. It was an
Anthony
empty
Michael
can.
Hall.
It was an empty can, and yes, Anthony Michael Hall was. They were supposed to like go back and forth throughout and he took it and just decided to go for the goal.
And Clark and Chevy played it off,
and they went with it.
Yeah,
I think I read that at some point somewhere, but. That's another great scene. He's like, "Don't worry about it, Dad. Don't worry. Don't be sad, Dad."
So I would argue that all the Rusties are great Rusties, but all of the I'm gonna botch the sister's name. Anyone quickly? Aubrey or Audrey? Audrey.
Yes.
There's quite a range. There's quite a spectrum of Audreys, because the Audreys in Vegas Vacation is up there, obviously. But the funniest Audrey was probably European.
And which one was?
Because Johnny.
Yeah, exactly.
Juliette Lewis was in Christmas.
Was in Christmas.
Yes.
But I'm not a Juliette Lewis guy. And the freaking Audrey in Vegas Vacation is smoking.
Audrey, I've always been
I've got Kevin
fan of Mrs.
Wright
Griswold
and
myself.
Julia.
Ken. By the way, Ken Harris.
People on the line for you.
You got people. Ken Harris, by the way, I know for a fact is a Beverly D'Angelo guy. I don't even need to see the comment from him. I already know it. So, do you have another one, or is that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Are we coming back?
Yeah, we're coming back. Dude, trust me.
All right, here we go. I'm going with Alan and Jake Harper. I mean, I just love the fact that he takes them from this terrible place and then into the coolest uncle of all time. I mean, you know what Jake gets to do over at Charlie's house? Like, it's so great.
It destroys.
I'm talking about the early years. The early years.
What are you talking about?
2.5 Men.
2.5 Men, dude.
Oh.
An underrated show. I really stopped watching it.
I wasn't a huge
when they
fan.
killed off Charlie.
Oh man, they had the most gorgeous
make you laugh. I just
actresses
never really got
of
into
any.
Yes, it does.
Every week,
You're
I was like, "Who are they going to bring on now?" And I liked the shtick of it all. It was, and I liked it. What was the maid's name? She was a
Berta.
Yeah, Berta was quite a character. So, all right,
hold on. 2.5 Men. Just as another, since we're doing Father's Day, and we're tugging on heartstrings, I would stay up at night. I would when Shark was born, I would have him at night. He would be on I would hold him. I would sit on the couch and I'd watch the 9 straight episodes of 2.5 Men. Where I'd never seen the show before, and I would watch it every night because I was up late anyways, making him sleep. I'd hold the baby and I'd watch 2.5 Men. This went on for years of me now watching it late at night and then watching it around. And I knew that my son was like aware of the world around him.
Well, because he was 14 and you were holding him on the couch.
I was like, get in here, buddy.
Dad, let's
get
go
in here.
I think you've got a boner.
Take it, dude. It's not that kind of Father's
You've been
Day
doing
show.
This for 14 years, Dad. When did we stop?
The Josie Davis show, by the way. But anyways, we're driving to the airport, and it's Megan and her friend, and we're taking her friend to the airport, and Shark's in a car seat. He's got to be like 3 years old. He's talking, but you don't know what he's actually paying attention to. And they're having a conversation independent of anything. I'm actually sitting in the back seat so they can have their time. And one of them, they're just talking about friends of theirs from school. And Katie says to Megan, "Oh, and who's Charlie's brother?" They're talking about Charlie from her childhood that they've been friends with forever. And out of his car seat. He takes the pacifier out of his mouth, and he's like, Alan. And I looked at him, and I was like, wait, what? He answered a random "Who's Charlie's brother?" question with Alan in a car ride on the way to the airport, and Megan literally was like, "Okay, you're not allowed to watch TV with him anymore."
I'm thinking you should have gone with that over George and Frank with a story like that.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. You're right. I should have made that, but I was like, "Oh my god, he's paying attention. He knows what's happening in the world around him."
There's plenty to pay attention to.
How many more picks do we have?
We might just drive this train all the way to Frisco. What do you got?
Ooh, okay.
I mean, I got some space on the board.
I don't think you have this in your repertoire.
Let's see if
I don't think either of you have this on your list.
Okay.
Not one pick has been on my list so far.
It's
Billy and T.J. Flynn from The Champ.
I don't have that on. You've stumped the magic blue board.
1979. You guys don't know about The Champ.
Dude, how
we
old
know
are you?
about it, but
Yeah.
Ricky Schroeder's wasn't cool for another couple years, bro. No,
Wait,
the Champ was a good movie. I got no problem with The Champ.
Mm-hmm. Back it up with the back-to-backer. Wait, does
No,
he go back to
right.
back? Oh, I go back to
You're
back.
back to back.
All right, so I'm gonna populate this board here. Let's see.
This was a tough.
Yeah, it was. And I think I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna stay with the recent movie franchise, and I'll tell you why I'm picking this pick. And here it is. It's Star-Lord and Yondu, not your classic father-son thing, but
what?
They played father and son by Cat Stevens at the end of that movie, and there's no way. And whenever a movie that is halfway decent gives you father and son by Cat Stevens, I dare you.
And Yondu is in the mix.
And Yondu is in the mix, and the whole thing. It's like, oh yeah, and Rocket's like, you had a father the whole time, and it was him, and then he risked his life and saved him. Blah blah blah. And Cat Stevens is like, I had to go. I was old. And it was like, forget about it. Forget it. I mean, it's because the song Father and Son was playing.
No, the song is the song. You can't argue with the song.
Made the whole situation.
I'm just writing Yondu.
Yeah, Yondu. And true to, I'll back it up with another untraditional selection. And I'm going to go with this one because I'm going to go back to TV. And I'm going to go with Uncle Phil and Will. Now,
is there an asterisk next to
No.
that?
Sure. I mean, I mean, you can asterisk it if you want, but
Why do you asterisk? Do you have to be related to someone to be their father? No.
They are
that
related.
is the question. But they are related. Yeah, they are
No,
related.
his mom. He's related by marriage. They have no relation to each
That's
other
correct.
whatsoever.
That is correct. No blood.
By marriage.
No blood, right? But I'm saying they're not blood related.
Uncle Phil.
I knew the answer to that question. I was just
Yeah.
I knew you were going to ask that question. Jesus Christ.
biological.
Yeah. It's biological.
You just had whatchamacallit and Yondu in there, and you didn't ask about the biology.
Yeah, but
they're
he
like different
created
races
He
or
did create
species. He did. He raised them, and
Yeah.
Uncle
him.
Phil.
Well, he didn't raise him. But
No,
he
that's
created
what I'm
Well-
saying.
What's that?
him. He created him.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd nod my head towards the raiser over the creator. That's all.
I love me some Uncle Phil, and obviously the show was spectacular. Kev? Oh no, we're back to T. We're bouncing back to T, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I don't know. Let's see if you got anything else
A
on the
little
board.
unconventional. I'm gonna
Okay.
go with Kurt and Dusty Mayer. From
Darn it.
Daddy's Home 2. Mel
I do not have
Gibson
that on my
and
board.
Wahlberg.
I don't.
Did you just go with a part two?
I did
A
With
sequel?
your sixth pick?
A
I went
sequel. Wow. Ron Rivera is not
What
in charge
internet
of
list are you on right now?
I can't,
The
that's
greatest-
not a list.
The greatest sequel movies with dad-son relationships are
Daddy's
awkward.
Home 2 was better than Daddy's Home 1. It was. I liked it better.
I will take your word for it, sir.
It's both great movies.
They're both great movies. All right, cue up another one because we're coming back to you after.
All right. Well, I'm going with a great
Gotta go
movie
soup.
here for real. A real great movie
Okay.
for real. And it's Calogero Anello and his father, Lorenzo, Robert De Niro, the bus driver.
The Bus Driver.
And Chaz Palminteri's The Bronx Tale.
Damn,
It's
I
one of
don't
my
have it.
favorite movies of
Don't
all
have it.
time.
It is a great movie.
And
Great soundtrack.
the dichotomy of the teenager figuring out the mafia world, but his dad is the real guy.
Yeah.
You know, the hardworking bus driver, minds his business, does the right thing, and the kids finding life could be easier this way or maybe not. I love that movie. The
Bronx Tale?
the greatest girl of all time. What's it called? If you open the door for her.
Yes.
Oh, dude, the Bronx Tale.
And she reaches over to unlock.
Yes, exactly. And the fight, the biker scene, and the bar at the end.
Yeah.
Calogero in the middle of all of the racial tension, and the whole entire neighborhood was at risk. And it was, love that movie. That's my pick for those guys.
Just between the picks, that movie always made me think about the first part of Goodfellas. So in A Bronx Tale, you had De Niro being like, "Hey, this is how it is.
Right.
You're going down the wrong path. You're getting sucked here, sucked there. It's just you're moving the wrong way." And in Goodfellas, Henry Hill, he showed up, with his gangster jersey and the wingtips and the thing, and you never really got the sense that his father was saying, "Don't be a gangster." And next thing you know, he's a gangster.
As a bartender, it was the greatest line in any movie you could ever see when Calogero's chasing the dude with the bat across the street up and down, and Chaz Palminteri comes on. He's like, "What are you doing? You're causing a ruckus. Everyone's watching. What are you doing?" He's like, "That guy owes me $20." He's like, $20 to never have to deal with him again? And in the bartending industry, I think, you're picking up when I'm laying down. Like, when am I going to go out there on my night off and chase these people down to the other bars in the same district that I work in? No, those people will avoid me forever. $20 to never deal with that guy again. Not a bad deal.
That's great. That's great.
And I got to go. I got to go with my man, Furious Styles and Trey Styles, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah,
Lawrence Fishburne.
I don't have that
Cuba
either.
Gooding Jr.
Darn it.
Who dis? Put your father on the phone. Who dis?
I can't believe that never came across my mind.
Man.
That is a good one.
Well, that was a great character. Lawrence Fishburne is a tremendous actor. And Furious Styles, is there a better name to say if you're having a draft? I just had to go with it because
Sure.
Furious Styles, baby.
T, you're up.
For the older guys in the group, I'm going with Ward in the Beaver.
I love your list so much. I want your list written down and framed tonight.
I think your high school yearbook said most likely to draft Ward and the Beaver in a father-son draft.
The first real father-son.
great.
Well,
I
there's
cannot
one more
argue it.
earlier than that is on my list. That
Mhm.
I was deciding between the two here, and I decided to go with Ward and the Beef.
It's great.
Ken?
I'm going to keep it rolling on the board, so I'll keep filling out the ones that I have here. How about these guys?
Yeah.
The McFly boys.
Yeah.
Marty and his dad, Mr. McFly, George. So I don't know if you guys, Biff Tannen, who's his actor name, his real name is like Tom something or other. Board, help me out. He's a stand-up guy, a stand-up comedian. And he goes around and he does like
The song.
Everyone's seen the song.
Yeah, everybody asked me if I'm
Yeah. And he's like, Marty's great. Michael J. Fox is great. They always ask him about Crispin Glover, and he's like, kind of weird, or like keeps to himself, or doesn't say much, or whatever, which is like totally obvious. Rhett Donnelly is now waiting with like literally holding his breath, waiting for the next T-Strachan
Mr.
draft.
T.
Wait, have you done two?
The next, no. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know that on the board. Here you go. I'm gonna put Rhett gets some board love here because he can't wait for T to draft. He's breathless like Tony Braxton in the corner of my basement. Just breathe.
What happened to like each person's list is their list? Why
Joseph
is my list?
and Jesus Christ.
I'm going with
This was a fictional.
J&J.
This was a fictional list.
The carpentry company
Come
that
on,
never
dude.
really took off.
Ward the Beef set the
It's such
standard
plans.
for fatherhood and son.
A couple more years,
relationship.
he was like, "Damn, thought for sure we could keep that business going."
That was Stitch.
Jesus Christ!
Whoa, take it easy. We were talking about a draft.
You can't take him.
Yes, we were
You got
drafting
him in the
him.
last round.
You're not
you son
taking
of a
his
bitch.
name in vain when you're drafting him. For goodness sake! All right, I get to go back to back. We're
Oh
filling
my
up the
gosh.
board here. We have some more things. I'll tell you right
I
now
like my
that
next one. I'll tell you that.
that this one is going to fill in right there.
It's gonna knock
love
you.
it.
I think actually Ken's gonna be more pissed than anybody.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I think you are, unless you take it. Which
There they are. There they are for me.
where?
Who?
The Starks.
Oh my
Ned
God.
Stark.
Look,
Jon
look,
Snow.
Look.
Oh,
look,
you had no chance.
MFer.
You had no
You've taken
chance.
3 of mine.
You had
Like,
no
right before
chance.
I was gonna do it. You.
Let's get these
son
guys over
of
here.
A dog.
Okay, let's move him over. I don't want them to block up the Joneses. But are you kidding me? The Starks, the Ned Stark. The coolest thing about Ned Stark is that's when people realize the show is for real. We're gonna kill our highest paid, most recognizable actor. We're gonna chop his head off in a way that no one saw coming, even when we promised everyone we weren't gonna do it. And by the way, his illegitimate kid is gonna turn out to be Jon freaking Snow. Just a pretty
I'm just gonna
great
do
thing.
this for just because Kevin.
Oh, also, by the way, I think now I've picked 3 people who technically weren't even the characters' fathers, right? Ned Stark was not Jon Snow's father. Uncle Phil was not Will Smith's father. Yondu was not Star-Lord's father. For God's sake, do we need to do a DNA test on the Joneses?
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? We need Maury Povich in this joint. Yeah, sorry, Greg. Wasn't his son. Kind of a theme for my draft. We're kicking it back to you, T, and you can't take my. I thought for sure that the people you were going to pick next I have on my board, and I'll take them if it gets back to me. But they're right up your alley.
Opie and Andy Taylor.
It's a wrap.
Oh, really?
It's a wrap, NB.
Oh, really? Really? You don't think I have Andy and Opie Taylor ready to go? Let's just get them in here. Well, let's get Andy and Opie. There they are.
Wait, why are you going to cover up the Kinsellas?
That's
because messed up.
Well, because there's just a big gap between them.
Because T Mom's plopping in there at some point.
We got Andy and we got Opie. I knew for sure T Strachan was going to pick them. Therefore, I had to include them. You get to come back to you.
Yeah, in the spirit of Ken's draft, I'm going with Sonny Koufax and Julian Frankenstein, Big Daddy. One of my favorite movies of all time. I loved it, so that's why I went with it. And then, are we coming back?
Yeah, we're coming back.
All right.
How do we end? Does everyone? How do we do
I
it?
have 2 left, so if you want to just throw them in for...
So I went first. So does that mean I should go last?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means I'll go last.
One more round and whatever.
Yeah, then we'll do because the board. I'm
going to leave you with yours because I know you're going to take. I can't believe
me?
you haven't taken this guy yet. It's shocking to me, by the way.
Sure.
But not this guy because this is what I'm taking. I'm taking Arnold and Willis's father, Mr. Drummond.
Mr. Drummond.
Mr. Drummond was a damn good man, and I went with Arnold and Willis, father and son. Pick or choose whoever you want it to be, but it doesn't matter. That show was on at my house all the time.
What you talking about, Mr. D?
What you talking about?
T?
Stephen and Alex Keaton. Family ties.
Stephen and Alex Keaton, family
Learned
ties.
so many lessons from the Keaton family. Sick days from school.
Who is your favorite
Watching
character
reruns.
on the show?
Meredith.
Wait, really?
Melanie, yeah. Yes.
Baxter Burney.
How is that like so obvious? How is Meredith Baxter Burney?
Mallory.
I was gonna say, how is Meredith Baxter Burney like
Mallory.
Meredith Baxter Burney?
Mallory.
I mean, she was
Mallory.
cute.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, Alex P. Keaton is first of all, now he's been picked twice in this draft. 2 different characters, Marty McFly and Alex P. Keaton. Who's your favorite character on that show, Kev?
I liked Justine Bateman. I forget what her name was.
Mallory.
That's Mallory.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah,
too.
it wasn't Tina Yallers, obviously. No one wants to go Chelsea. Isn't Chelsea Noble? Wasn't that the girl that dated Alex at the end?
There was a brief.
What would you think?
Yeah, Courtney Cox was in there for a brief moment.
Yeah, she
Cox
was.
in there, yeah.
Tom Hanks was the drunk uncle.
When she was attractive before she lost all of her weight. So,
oh yeah,
Courtney Cox was extremely attractive, and then she lost.
Yeah,
it's a great show, man. I mean, it was a great show.
Skippy was a good character.
All right, I'm gonna have to go last. I have to pick between 2 shows. One that is gonna be a board favorite. One is gonna be, it just has to go. I'm gonna go biological here. I'm just gonna go straight biological. There he is, just Homer and Bart. I mean, how else are you gonna end this draft without just a great Homer and Bart scenario? I love him, and I know people.
I love them.
I know
them both.
I know people on the board wanted me to go a different direction, but
Can I tell you who I thought you were going? We're done, right?
Yeah, we're done.
I just want to tell you who I only have 2 names on my board left, and I thought one of them. You didn't go Phil Dunphy. I really thought that would be.
Yeah,
in
but the
his
son
wheelhouse.
character was the weakest on the. Well, I mean, he had
He's a
his
cool
moments.
dad in the show, though.
Yeah,
he's
his
a great
son
dad.
is a
He
cool
is a cool
kid,
dad.
and like
Yeah,
that's one of the more like normal. I think it's a little too normal for this conversation. And my last one that I didn't get on there that I only had one written down. I'm just going to share my one.
Yeah.
Coral.
I like it.
You know who it is?
Are you talking about from Family Matters?
No. This Coral is recent. It's
I have
The
no
Walking
idea.
Dead.
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
Rick Grimes. Rick and Carl. I mean, that's a tough dynamic there in a zombie infested afterlife scenario.
Well, unfortunately, I was.
I didn't watch 130 episodes to not put Rick and Carl Grimes into my wheelhouse today.
I haven't started them yet.
You should.
I don't know.
I don't know. Because you think it's week in the middle.
Yeah, and it's grinding. Like,
Yeah,
how
it's
many
tough.
hours can you watch that? That's all.
It's tough.
It's tough. It
I've
also
never
smells
watched
tough
it.
in here. It smells like The Walking Dead.
I've
right
never
now.
watched it for that
I'm
reason.
blaming you.
Carl,
and you.
Red.
I'm blaming you.
Red. It's not me. I would say I did it. I did the earlier ones that made noise, but I told you earlier it was party favorite night. I was going to cause no damage on that.
Sopranos is coming through the board. I know there was a Bud Bundy and Al Bundy.
Sopranos,
pick.
I thought. Yeah. And we've been over talking about that show.
The Keatons, Michael, or the Seavers, I should say. Kirk Cameron and Alan Thicke.
Yeah, and whatchamacallit, got love. Uncle Jesse and San Francisco, yes.
Full House.
Full House.
We could take them all.
Yeah.
Danny Tanner.
There's a lot of.
But there's no son.
I guess that would be
a deal breaker.
That'd be a deal breaker.
I mean, so
That
Uncle,
is a rule breaker.
Uncle
right there.
Jesse had twin boys.
Sorry, the fart smell must have gotten me because I feel like I'm going to choke to death.
It's the wildfires.
That might be my final sentence. So
It's the Canadian
I hate
wildfires.
that I screwed it up.
They finally made their way to the basement.
Oh, God.
It's like hazy
Is that
in here.
Is that a Dave Coulier
There's
joke?
a Dave. Yeah, there you go. Dave Coulier. We're gonna blame him. We're gonna play some.
Oh, that's red. That is your
totally
brand.
red. It's
That is
absolutely
on
red.
brand. That is
Are you
on
drinking
brand.
Lowenbrow
Oh
over
my
there?
God.
I think he's drinking Lowenbrow.
I think he's drinking
He's drinking
castor
Lowenbrow.
oil.
He is drinking Lowenbrow. I haven't seen a Lowenbrow in years. All right, everybody. Hey, apologize for the board on the front side. That's all on this guy. We got it fixed. I'm glad you guys stuck around and hung out with us. Ralphie and Old Man Parker, definitely a good one as well.
Fudge.
Oh fudge. What are we doing next week, guys?
Get one of them out there. Let's make it more. That was tough.
Yeah, that was tough. But I loved it. All right, but that was
Yeah,
also
it was
Father.
good.
So we have the suggestions from the board, and we're gonna stay with them. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Best summer cocktails.
God bless.
Why do you keep coming
Every
this
week
way?
he does
What the
it.
fuck?
He does it every week.
I thought I diverted it down like this.
I'm the one that's
he's a
immunocompromised.
right-handed sneezer.
I'm the one that, out of the three of us, is most likely
It's
to die
true.
if I get
It's
something.
true.
What the
God.
fuck is wrong with you?
Sneeze all over me, man. I don't want this. I don't want this.
Meanwhile, the Mr. Open Mouth Kisser over here, on the way in and the way out, he's all of a sudden complaining about trading spit. Yeah, take it easy over there, Mister. I as soon as I did it, I couldn't handle myself. I knew that I had done something terribly wrong. I blame Benjamin. No, all right, so we have 90s album covers. We have best fast food items, which I want to put on. Let's move the food thing off. There's the best single episode of any TV show, which is a deep cut. I feel like that one is one we will do, but I think that it's a 2 to 3 week lead time for my research team here.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I'm never gonna.
What
be
We'll
able
do
to
it.
that
What if we did a
What was
3
that
round?
one?
Everyone gets
My
3.
background, I would.
What was that
I
one?
can remember a grand total of 5 television episodes. So
Okay.
I'm just being honest. I'll participate in all.
Okay.
of it.
Okay.
I
Fair
have no
enough.
problem.
I
would have to. I would really.
It's a
Greatest television episodes?
Yeah.
yes, best single episodes. Now, to me, that's like that's a muff
Well, yeah,
cam
that's
situation
that's
for
a different.
me.
Yeah, that might be a different podcast.
No, it's
that's pretty
true.
intense. And the passion you're going to show means that. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one.
If you don't want to do it, we won't do it.
I will do it. I'll do whatever. I'll do
Okay.
whatever the board suggests, but that's a tough one.
Sometimes it's almost funner when you're a little bit begrudgingly good, when you like almost don't
Yeah,
want
but
to.
not about this topic.
Yeah,
When
alright.
you're on minute 13 of episode 3 or whatever, and your passion is, I know, I get it.
Best Arnold Schwarzenegger movies? I don't think.
Oh no, I'm never
want to
doing
go
that
there.
one. I have 0.
Best DMV sports
I don't
announcers.
dislike them.
Best DMV sports announcing teams is one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are where we are after
First
the
Amendment sports off the list.
Well,
No,
one of
we're
the
on
first
the
two
list.
was good.
one of the first two.
Not the food.
There's also a one that someone threw out there in a super broad, which might be good for a mid-June.
Super broads?
Super broad. Best all-time great fictional characters. It's like the broadest subject that we've ever drafted. I don't know if that's something that we want to dig into in the middle of June or not.
I think we go summer cocktails.
Summer cocktails. Done.
Summer cocktails.
Next week,
let's lighten it up.
We
after
are
this
drafting summer cocktails. Maybe we'll even have some to sample on the table
one. I
here.
think that leads us right to where we want to be led.
That's
You can only lead a couple horses to whiskey.
By the way, I got a juicer for my birthday, and there's a couple summer cocktails.
What's
that
his
was
name? Is he cute?
Super beneficial. Yeah, no, he's pretty cute. You know what? I apologize. I apologize again to the people who came here to see
Get a new picture.
a new picture. We're talking about the cover of Sports Illustrated, T. Strachan. We're talking about not just the cover of Sports Illustrated.
She
We're talking
has
about
other pictures in the magazine.
she does, but I'm just saying it's
He
Martha
knows
freaking
the
Stewart.
oh gosh.
And
Hold on.
and the board was asking for it, and the board gets what the board wants. And I'll tell you right now, Kev, is it happening on that side of the room? Are the wildfires back?
We said right before the show
Wildfires
that
are
you
back.
were a butt guy. I mean,
That I was a butt guy,
no, that Kevin was.
and then there you go.
That was the
Ken
discussion.
Harris. By the way, Ken
discussion
Harris,
in the green room. Rhett,
you
correct?
did it again.
Kevin
you did
is
it. You saved the show.
Kev's a butt guy.
I did call for Team Mothers.
That's true. That's
Ken
a fact.
Harris did name her Team Mother, which
Yeah, of course.
which made it official.
You know what? That's a concept that we're all super okay with. What better team mother could there possibly
Not
be
in the
than
world. Zero.
a cook,
0.
Sports Illustrated cover model?
And-
That's all.
and-
She
and-
does it all.
And ex-con, so she's got
And
street.
ex-con.
She's got street
Oh.
cred
And
too.
friends with Snoop.
Friends
in
with
case-
Snoop.
Friends with Snoop.
Just in case there's a party, there's a chance he'll be there, which means it's gonna be great.
All right.
Pool party at Team Mom's.
Thank you guys
Every
so much
snack
for hanging
and
out
meal
with
will
us
be
tonight.
Yes.
delicious.
Snacks.
He's Tim Strachan.
Snacks.
I appreciate it. Looking forward to next week, y'all.
Kevin Ricka.
Yeah, we'll have some fun next week. We'll get all straightened up back here, and we'll have some summer cocktails to prove it.
Summer cocktails. Summer night style. Is that Richard Marx? Didn't Richard Marx do a summer cocktail song?
An endless summer night.
Endless summer cocktails.
Yes.
Endless Summer Cocktails by Richard Marx next Tuesday night. Until then, I'm Ken Marangolo. This is Thank God It's Tuesday. Very much appreciate it, all y'all
Thanks, guys.
giving us your Tuesday night. See you next week. Let's just let's go out on a little bit of EO. What do we got here? Let's go with this guy. Ooh, it comes in soft.
I wish I was with EO when he made this, because
Now we can't even hear it.
you just switched us up.
You
just switched us up from like psychedelic to
There it is. By the way, I don't know how to work any of this
He's
stuff.
master mu-
I literally
he's
have no
master
idea what
muting
I'm
again.
doing.
He's been master muting all week, apparently.
If anybody wants to ever think about doing a podcast, they should, because I don't know how to do any of this. And yet somehow we have an awesome friend who made us a musical track. We have our logo in the corner. Our pets' birds' heads are falling off. Top heavy. EO. By the way, EO.
Rhett's still here.
EO says he's just getting back from the gym and he's logging in right as I'm playing his tune. There you go. You made it on time. And by the way, that's why our sound was so terrible, because EO wasn't here at the top of the show.
I was
EO Anderson,
wondering about that.
you are the sound engineer, and we screwed the pooch. And that pooch got screwed. Let me just tell you. All right, everybody. Next week is Tuesday. We'll see you then. Appreciate you.
I can't
Sorry,
be
Pooch.
associated with that. No animals got harmed in this episode.
And we are still live. 88 days, 88 days, 14 hours, 42 minutes, and 1 second. Taking it to the Cardinals.